Okay. Hello, people. This is going to be the live show discussion for 16 Souls for the Queer or Not Book Club. Um, 16 Souls was what month we just finished? July. It was our July pick, and the reason it was chosen was because of the disability rep. So in 16 Souls, we had our main character, Charlie, who had meningitis and lost both of his legs. Was it below the knee? I just read if it was something about his leg. Either below the knee or not below the knee. But yeah, lost both of his legs, so he has prosthetics now. So that was part of the disability rep. Um, so yeah, that's why one was chosen. Hello, lovely, lovely people for joining. Hi, Brittany. You know you've done more than me. Spoiler alert! If you haven't been around on some sprints lately, I have not finished this. I got up to chapter 6. So I am like 50 pages into this. So that was the thing. Hello, Zoe and Tracy. Three people have read it. Nice. Yeah, so I didn't realize that when I picked this book that people in America wouldn't be able to get it because this has been out in Australia for ages. And it wasn't until people on the Discord were like, this doesn't come out in America until August, that I knew that was a thing. So sorry to any of the Americans that weren't able to read this. If it makes you feel better, I'm not reading it until August either, so there's that. Yeah, same, Erin, same. I'm going to be sharing such deep thoughts, so well thought out and everything. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was below the knee. And you also very enjoyed it. That's awesome. Hello, Amy. The cover is absolutely stunning and like it's all um like gold and what is it like embossed where like you can feel like the raised parts of it. And like there are skulls on it and I love me some skulls and just the cool like architecture stuff and one of the most beautiful covers to me. I absolutely love it. You read more than me, Amy. You read more than me. Good job. Really? Which is our September pick is Sorry Bro. No, Sorry Bro is August. Our September pick is Arthur and Teddy are coming out. So if you didn't know, I posted the next three picks on the Discord channel. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go check it out. I've posted the next three ones. It's super annoying that once again there is one that is not out in America. I am very sorry about that. I just kind of assumed that because I live in Australia that like everything else, like everything that I pick has already been released in the rest of the world. Yeah, you're all good. It's so pretty. Hello, my lovely. Yeah, so originally I was gonna have Kirsty on this live with me because She read it, loved it, and she was going to do a reread, but I don't think she had time in the end, which is totally fair. But she is working. Um, but yes, hello, lovely. That's like one of the things that I kind of wanted to do with this book club is to just either let people know about books that were queer that they didn't know were queer or that they didn't know had specific representation or fit certain little things. So, yeah, that's the thing. Also, my brain is not working very much today. I think I'm sick. So, hello. That's really good. Yeah, I am also not an amputee. I didn't like I can't speak for that rep, but for the things I read, I don't know if the author themselves is like I don't know if it's like own voices or anything. I did not look that up. Um, does it say anything in here? No, that does not say anything. Yeah, I don't know, but it all seemed, if nothing else, well researched and not patronizing. You know how some books can be like that? But yeah, it felt really good. Yes, the audiobooks was the main reason some of the next three picks were chosen because they do have audiobooks or are about to have audiobooks. Because like I mainly read audiobooks and like the first two picks for this book club were not audiobooks, so that was silly on my part. Yeah, the a bit that I just read, he was talking about having his wheelchair, and there was like a specific wheelchair that he had that I was trying to picture it in my head. I should have like Googled it or something, but he said it had like a low backrest and like no well, I guess if there was like no handholds, it meant there was no like the ones where someone would push you, those handholds. But for some reason I kept thinking there were no handholds like on the wheels. So then I was like, well, then how does he push himself if he can't like hold the wheels? Really only just occurred to me that the no handholds meant someone else couldn't push him. Um, but I did like to see that, yeah, there was a lot of talk on on his prosthetics and what they not like the damage they did to his body, but the pain that that could cause him because I do know that that is a thing and talking about how he can't run because his certain prosthetic like the foot part of it is not like made for running so he can't do that and how if he gets like really sweaty then the um like where the prosthetic attaches to his leg it will like rub really raw and he'll get really irritated and the fact that he like after like a long day he was like I need to take these off and just get in the wheelchair so it was kind of I don't want to say it was I don't say it was good but I liked the fact that this like disability representation it was for the pages I read but it was like a consistent thing whereas there's been a couple times where I've read some books and it was like the disability will be just like sprinkled in one place and like that's the only time you hear about it. I was like, well that it's not like I don't know how to word that, which is also why I need to have people on screen with me because my words don't usually word. Um but yeah, I liked the way that this was constantly brought up because it is such a huge part of his life. And I also did appreciate that how even at like what's he like 16, 17, one of those, he's a teenager and At least so far. Again, I haven't read the entire thing yet, but it wasn't his disability that um, made him distance himself from his peers or anything, or he wasn't like he got a little kind of jabbing for his disability, like someone called him an Olympian. I don't understand that, but sure. But the reason that he was the weird kid was because he could see ghosts and people thought he was always talking to himself, and it wasn't because he had a disability. So like I appreciated like that part of it. I don't know. Like September book, swap the book around. Is that what you mean? If there is a book people want to read more than that, what is the prompt for this for what September. Gosh, keep thinking. Um, yeah, I was tossing up with the September book rack because I want a 2023 release in each of the three-month picks, and that was a 2023 release that did have an audiobook. Um, if people do have more suggestions, if it's a 2023 release and it's an adult pick, leave them in the Discord, and it has an audiobook, must have an audiobook. So yeah, if you find one that would be appropriate, put it in the Discord and I will see about getting that going. Yes, definitely. And like at least so far, I don't such a great live show where I don't know anything about the book, but that the disability wasn't used as like a plot device. I mean, his meningitis was because of that he died and then got brought back, and then that is how he can see ghosts. I'm fine with that. Like that all makes total sense. But the fact that he was an amputee, that didn't feel like a plot device. Whereas again, sometimes um, in some books with disability representation, it is like the disability is the reason that they did the amazing thing in a book, which I don't know how I feel about that. You know, awesome. That is really good. Good to hear. Not that you all know. Yeah, I I don't see much amputee rep at all, which was yeah, really great to see in this. So, so true. There is a good, not specifically for disability rep, but for queer books, and then listing out all the specific representation in them. It's all very well organized. Is the website LGBTQ Reads? I think. I think I've posted it in the Discord before, but it's really good, and it'll have different tabs for specific representation and disabilities and all that type of thing. Yeah, I feel similar. The I was so hyped for this, and I have been since I bought it. But July for me wasn't good. My mental health went completely down the toilet. So reading something physically was not happening, and also reading something that I was supposed to read was not happening. Like I said in my August TBR video, I only read one of my TBR books from July, and the rest I was just mood reading. So, like, if I didn't have to read it, I wanted to read it. But if I had to read it, I didn't want to read it. it was a thing. Um, it is also taking me a little bit to get the hang of the language and writing style because it is told. I think Amy pointed it out in the Discord that at the beginning, yeah, this very beginning bit that says 16 Souls uses British English conventions, spelling, and grammar, as well as British colloquialism. And I thought I would be super, super into that. And like I am, I appreciate it, but it's taking my brain a little bit to get used to it and get my wrap my head around it all. So I think that's also why it's been a bit hard for me to pick this up and read it. Like I appreciate it, just my brain is a little on the slow side lately. Yeah, yes. Agree. Oh, okay, that's really cool. That's awesome. Always really good to have, like, if you're writing a book about an experience you don't understand, always good to have those, like, sensitivity readers, if that's what they're called. But yeah, that is really awesome. So true. That's really awesome. I did want to ask about what people thought of the type of ghosts that are being talked about in this book. Because, I mean, again, I've only read like 50 pages, but there were some really interesting things about the type of ghosts that were mentioned here. And you get like the typical things of like the death loops. I've seen death loops a lot before, and I appreciated that. Um, and most people can like walk through a ghost. That was also a thing you see a lot, and you can't see ghosts in a mirror and all those types of things. But some things I thought were really interesting was that because Charlie was a seer, that he could like interact with the ghosts, and the fact that he would have to maneuver himself around ghosts a lot, like as if they were physically, as if they were just like a regular person. And if he was walking, he would like maneuver around them because if he went through them, he would like touch them or something. And I thought that was super interesting. I've never seen that before where ghosts could interact with like the person that could see them in that way. I thought that was super interesting. And that there was a ghost dog. He has a ghost dog. That's adorable. And like he could pet the dog and oh, that was super cute. And the other thing was those particular type of ghosts. I wanted to make a note of it, but I couldn't remember. What's it called? Like the the hungry ones or something? Can't remember where it was, but though there were particular ghosts where they thought that if they could like consume the blood of a seer that they would come back to life or something like that. I can't remember the exact wording of it, but I have never encountered that type of thing before. And I thought that was really, really interesting. And it added like a layer of tension to Charlie's life because, you have to avoid those ones because they will take a bite out of you, which is creepy and cool. And I very much enjoyed that as well. Um, But yeah, what do people think of the ghosts? Thank you for being here, much appreciated. Yeah, that is true. And I liked how with Charlie, he wasn't like Like there were some ghosts, like some of his friends that, he didn't like ask too many questions about how they died. Like if they didn't want to speak about it, he wouldn't press for it. And I thought that was really good because a lot of the times with ghostly books, it's like you are focusing on the moment this person became a ghost and their death is the huge thing about them. Whereas in this book, Charlie was like, "You don't want to talk about your death? Cool. Let's just like be buds and talk about normal things." And I appreciated that. And I wish I could have read more. Yeah, definitely. Gosh, never mind, I was about to go off on a tangent, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent. Yes, exactly, exactly. It wasn't just, oh, I have to remind you that this is a disabled character. I don't, or, just like randomly throwing it out in there where it was very much like a very normal thing because it is. So yeah, I appreciate that. Yes, I am not in my bedroom. I am in my living room because it's cold and the heater is on in here. And my room is messy and I can't be bothered to deal with that. So yeah, I'm in a different place. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yes. Let me know. That's so much later. All right, that is annoying. I couldn't find an audiobook for it. Where is the audiobook? Because that was the only reason I didn't pick it was because I couldn't find an audiobook. But yes, maybe we could do like two reads because I know a lot of people were really excited for Arthur and Teddy, so maybe we couldn't read both. Yeah, brains are fun things. I was like, this kept sitting right next to my laptop because I was like, gotta read it, gotta read it. And then I would just scroll my phone and be like, oh, look, there's a fun audiobook. Let's read that instead. Yeah, I am feeling similarly. It's like I like it, like I don't want to read it, which is sad because like it's like there's nothing wrong with it. Those death they were interesting death loops because like I've seen them before and then not seen them before. So I've seen the death loops where there are those ghosts that are stuck in their death and they just replay it over and over again. But the fact that Charlie would get pulled into them, that was really interesting. So the bit where I stopped was like he just got pulled into the death loop of the hanging at his school and just the way he like Charlie was in it. He was in that death loop, not just like a bystander watching it. It was like he was the one that had the rope around his neck and was struggling to breathe and was feeling the sadness that this person was feeling when they died. That was really interesting and was a really good way to bring in like a lot of like emotion and like yeah, it really pulled me in and like was really interesting. I hadn't seen that done before, so that was very cool. I think I've watched just too much Supernatural Just anytime like the word death loop is used, I think of this one supernatural episode where they're let's not go on more tangents, shall we? Yeah, super interesting. I really hope the hungry ones are mentioned more in the book than just the few little snippets that I've got so far. I'm sorry, Chopper's walking away. Um, yeah, they sounded creepy and interesting. Also, kind of reminding me of our book last month, which was Of the Wild. There were those, I don't remember what they were called, the old ones or something. The old ones? The something ones that were like the kind of creepy, almost antagonistic beings. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, there's a theme happening. But yeah, that is just the thought that like a ghost can take a bite out of you. That's creepy and super cool. I appreciate it. Chopper. Sorry, he's walking around and I don't know what he's doing. Oh my god. Chopper, that's a door. That door, he likes to think he can just push his way through. He can't. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize that this would be as deep in the horror as it was. Because like as I'm someone who does read a lot of horror and I really enjoy it. I when I picked this up, I didn't think it would be horror. I feel like it's still like light horror compared to what some other things I read. Um, but it definitely like if I was reading this at nighttime and I was all alone and there was like a storm outside, I'd probably be like, that's disturbing. So that is super cool. I'm sorry if it was a bit too much for some people. I didn't expect it to be as dark as it is. Yes, very cool. Yes, complaints. I would love to see people's not so good reviews of them. Um, because I know Kirsty loved it, but then Max was like, it was fine. So I would love to see yeah, what people didn't like about the book. Because I know a lot of people are giving it like 4 stars. So what made you not give it a 5, or just what was something you didn't vibe with? Okay, so plot started to get convoluted. Interesting. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm also fine if anyone wants to like give out spoilers, like that's kind of what this is about. Feel free to spoil it even though I haven't finished it. That's totally fine. Um I will say something I have already had a bit of an issue with is I don't know how to describe it. Like I almost want to say like placement of some things or like of characters, like how they are placed in a scene or I really don't know how to describe it, but there's just something about the writing that I can't explain why, but it feels really like jumpy, like it jumps from one bit to the next. Like there isn't something like connecting it. I really can't describe it particularly well. I'm so sorry. Oh, is that his friend Ollie? where he was like he would print out like a comic and like stick it on his wall and so that the ghost could like read it throughout the day while he was gone. That was adorable. And just how he had like I think he said like his room was decorated to accommodate Ollie and Heather or something because those are his two like best friends and they're both ghosts and like that was adorable. I I did have like almost a little issue with how Charlie was viewing the ghosts in the weirdest way. So especially with Ollie when so Ollie's been with Charlie like for years and what Charlie would do is he would like make a hammock for Ollie and then put like pillows in it so that his brain was more okay with seeing Ollie like floating above somewhere. And I'm like, huh, interesting. But if you've been seeing ghosts that long, are you not more just like accepting of seeing ghosts like hover? Like, wouldn't your brain have gotten used to that by now? I thought that was interesting. Yeah, so, so cute. You can never have too many books on your to read list. It is turning out to be a good read, so do recommend. So cute. I don't have Audible, but I checked my Libby and it just had the ebook. So, yes. Oh, villas, cool. ADHD rep, that's awesome. I do definitely want to read more books with ADHD rep, more than just like TJ Klune books. But yeah, that's cool. It's cool that there are more than I always try and think of non-awful ways to say things because my brain will just blurt it out anyways. You know where there are some books where it's like there can only be one, can only be one type of representation or only one type of disability or thing. So I like when it's like the real world where like many people and many things and they all flock together. Yeah, I was not able to find that. Yeah, Moldy Oldies. I just read that recently and I was like, what? Are they the same as the hungry ones? Because like earlier on it was the hungry ones, and then Charlie literally just said the moldy oldies, and I was like, what are we talking about? I got very confused. He does definitely give off like he's a teenager vibes. Ooh, I have not heard of Horathon. That's sad. I wish I had. Yeah, I'm very jealous of all of your library accounts. Hmm. I mean, there might be a audio that comes out soon. If there is, I'll let you know. Very nice. I didn't think you would wait if I did choose it, so all good. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Mm, okay. Fair, fair. I think like for me, again, only being 50 pages in, it is sitting at like a 3 or a 4. And I'm almost annoyed at myself because when I just realized that um Sam's trans and immediately I was like, "Ooh, interest peaked." And I was like, that's I shouldn't enjoy a book just because it has trans rep, you know? I don't know how to describe it, but it was like that the thing that was like, ooh, hoo, hoo. Very, very fair, Amy, very fair. They leave blood at a crime scene. Like their own blood? Because that's stupid. Like the amount of technology we got nowadays wouldn't take much to be found out. But again, like kids do be stupid a lot. But if that is a prominent thing, I could definitely see myself getting annoyed. Yeah, that's fair. I do almost feel like it feels a bit chaotic in a way. Like, I almost want to say it feels like there's too many things happening, but there aren't. At least in the first 50 pages, there aren't too many things happening, but it feels cluttered as if there were like three or four different plots happening at the same time. I don't know. It don't know how to describe it any better than that. But yeah, maybe I need to keep reading and it'll make more sense. Yeah. Yeah. That that is a mood. That is very funny actually. Yeah, it just I think there was a bit when like when he first met Sam and was like, hmm, dude's kind of hot. And then he was like, oh, not my type, gross type thing. I was like, clearly it is going to be your type. But yeah, that is fun. Hello, my dear. Yeah, I also didn't read it, so it's all good. Fair, fair. Yeah, he did definitely have a like gloomy outlook on his situation, which fair. Like there is a lot of trauma surrounding dying, and then when you come back to life, you can see ghosts. Like that would be very traumatizing. I guess I just wanted him to be like, this is super cool, which is kind of what Sam seems to view it as of like this kind of like amazing thing he can do. So yeah, I think I really do just like need to read more of it. Yeah, that was another thing. And like as someone like for me, like as someone with chronic pain, me having to like go from sitting and like having to get up to open doors for a ghost and then, go back and sit. I'm like, I would not have enough energy or spoons to do that constantly. Like, just let them walk through the wall. I mean, like, have some kind of rule where, like, if you're having like alone time, there are some boundaries, but like having to let them out is just weird. Weird to me. I'm sure things will have made sense, but yeah, it was weird. Yeah, those three rules that he had, which were basically all three were just like, don't act like a ghost. And a part of me is like, well, don't deny them that. because like I would if I end up being a ghost, which I will because I need to prove to Max that ghosts are real. But when I become a ghost, I'm gonna be amazing. I'll be like, I'm gonna walk through all the walls. I will like teleport into different places. I'll haunt people and make things all like cool. So it's like, let them have their fun. Tokenistic. That is the word I was looking for. Yes. Thank you. Fair, fair, fair. Also go to bed. Bed is lovely. I wish I was back in bed. Yes. Yes. Moly oly. So weird. Fair. That makes total sense. I definitely have books where I originally give them like a 4 star, and then like yeah, on a reread I'll give it 5. Or as time passes, I realize I can't stop thinking about it. So like I would give it a 5 star. But yeah, I don't see myself emotionally connecting with anyone. I'm not a particular fan of Charlie's. Just 50 pages in. Oh gosh, I could see that, Meredith. I really could. Yes. Yes, so true. Okay. Fair. I am already getting confused with Heather and Audrey. I keep getting them confused about like which one he hangs out with more, and then I'll kind of remember, and then I'm like, wait, what is the point of them? Or like who didn't like who or what? Yeah, I was getting a bit confused with them. Okay. 3 different genres of spooky teen movies. That's interesting. That's a really good way to put it. I like that. I like that. That's so funny. I love that. I love that. It's like you don't need a ghost when you've got a cat. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I don't know if there was any. Oh, I did want to say because this is a debut, yeah. Yeah, the Spookily Swoony YA debut from Book Talk Star. Okay. What do people think about this as a debut book? Because sometimes if people know it's a debut, they give it more leniency than they would if it was not a debut, or people are surprised when some books turn out to be the author's debut book. I would be interested to know, yeah, what you think about the debut aspect of it. And if you would read from this author again, if they brought out something else. Would you like to see them write a different genre, maybe? Or just like a different age group? Like maybe you'd want them to write an adult? I think I like them as a YA author. And like maybe just I like them to just do like a full-on horror. Because to me this just comes off as a bit more like paranormal, with definitely like with horror aspects because there are some definite creepy stuff in there. But just like a full-on YA horror would be interesting. Ooh. Okay. That's cool. I think what I liked about the writing, while knowing it was a debut, was I thought the writing was impressive for it being a debut with the tone or the like the I can't say the word unless I see it. Uh the British colloquialisms. I'm getting tongue tied now, but those the sayings and the almost like writing the dialect, but not, you know? I thought that was really good, even though that was part of why I was struggling with it. But like, that's a me thing, I think. And I think for it to be someone's debut and for them to write, I almost want to say like authentically like that, I think that's really well done. Where, you could have taken like the easy route and just done like basic writing. So I thought that was interesting. And like that was good. I would definitely be interested to see where they go once they hone their craft a little bit more, maybe. But yeah, not bad for a debut. That is cool. Like, I never thought that I did give debuts more leniency until I realized that I was like, oh, this was okay. And then I found out it's a debut, and I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that's really good then. It's like, I don't know why that's always like the case. Mm, yeah, fair, 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 fair. Definitely fair. Very true. Yeah. That is good though. It did feel strong. Yeah. Mm. So true. Yeah. That is good. Sorry, my brain is also still going like it's that time of day where my brain is like shutting down already. Colloquial. Yes. Yeah. I love the sound of the word though. Just like there's something just so right about just the word, but saying it is a nightmare. Hearing it is great. Okay, that's good. Nice. So this will probably be a much shorter live show than a normal because I didn't read the book and I'm very sorry about that. Things were just happening. I will read the rest of it. Um I'll definitely read it slower. There was a point last night when I was reading this where I was like, I kind of want a DNF, but I don't because this is a premise that should work for me. I love ghosts and people who can see ghosts, and it being in York is super cool. I really want to go to York, and it being queer, like it should be everything that I like. And the cover is stunning. So, like, I'm going to keep reading it, but there was a point where the writing was just a bit annoying for me, unfortunately. But I will continue. I also don't often see chapter titles in YA books. I see them a lot in middle grade, but not in YA. So that was interesting. Um, but yes, I will read it and I'll let everyone know in the Discord what I actually think of it. But thank you for like coming to this live show anyways, even though I didn't read the book. Yeah, definitely. I was trying to do that yesterday. I was like, I just got to read this book. I got to read it. And then I think I had said to Max at some point, I was like, I really got to read this. And he was like, but if you force yourself, are you going to hate it? And I was like, maybe, but I got to anyways. And then I didn't. So it was probably a good thing that I didn't read it at that time. But I will finish it. That is a good motivator. Yeah, I think I'll just like slowly read it. Now that like the pressure's off, it's going to be easier for me to read it. But yeah, I will continue to give it a go slowly. There may, yeah, it may potentially be a softie in the future. I don't know. I will let everyone know in the Discord. But we'll wrap it up here. So thank you to everyone that did read it. I really appreciate it, and I loved seeing the people were reading it in the Discord. It was awesome. I would definitely uh I mean I very much love seeing that people are reading these books. It uh I don't know, it makes me feel validated for starting this book club, especially when like my mental health was not doing good things. It was nice to know that people were enjoying the book, if nothing else. So remember that our August book is Sorry Bro by Talene Vashkuni. There is an audiobook available for most people, I believe. Um, this is going to be a book that people potentially don't like as much because the ratings are lower and they are getting slightly lower. So it'll be interesting to see what some people think, but it still sounds like it should be good. And I'm still looking forward to it. So that will be our August read, and then the live show for that will be the first Saturday of September, which is the second. So yeah, live show will most probably be on the 2nd of September, but I will post more about the date and time later on in August. And make sure to check out the next three picks for September, October, and November. Um, if the US people um, would prefer the September book to be changed, or if you want just like a second book that, because I know a lot of people have already gotten Arthur and Teddy. But yeah, if you want a new book, put it in the Discord. Um, put it in the September discussion section, and I will take your recommendations into account and try and find adult queer audiobook 2023 release. If you can find all of those and you want to read it, let me know. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, please. Definitely. I am I want it. I want it so bad. Please do. That would be awesome. I would love to see it. And I know people will too. Yeah, be awesome. Thank you. Yes, I've actually had the audiobook for like 2 weeks now, and I have to keep making I've already had to like renew the audiobook because it almost like ran out. But yeah, so I'm interested to see what has been not so great about Sorry Bro. But Yeah, it sounds and looks like it'll be a good book. So I'm uh I'm intrigued to see if I will like it or not. True. That is very true. It's also because I know Lucia recently read it and she DNF'd it. And I was like, oh no. I am really interested to see what it will be like. And just I'm hopeful that it'll be good. Okay. That could be interesting because wasn't that like in the running for your favorite book of 2023? But yeah, let me know about it. Yeah, as soon as I watched her video, I was like, "Oh no." And my excitement for the book immediately lowered and I was like, "Oh no." But we will read it. Yeah. Yeah. We'll read it and see what it's like. But yeah, I'll look into Now She Is Witch. See what it is. But yes, anyways, thank you so much to everyone for watching. And we will be reading Sorry Bro. We'll see what it's like. And yeah, the live show will be the first Saturday in September. And if you want the September book changed, please let me know very, very soon so I can organize it. I probably still will be reading Arthur and Teddy are coming out though, because I am very, very hyped for that. So, yeah, and thank you for putting up with me having only read 50 pages of this book. But I'm really glad that some people read it and they really enjoyed it. So, thank you to everyone. Thank you. So will I. At least I hope so. But yes, thank you everyone, and we'll see you in September.